Hi everyone, Drini here, and welcome to my channel. So today we're going to take a look at Star Atlas, POLIS, Atlas, as well as the game itself. Because as you know from the thumbnail, I did sell everything when it comes to Star Atlas assets, and I sold all the tokens accordingly. So I just wanted to share with all of you the reasons why I had to capitulate when it comes to this particular game, because it's also a very important lesson about opportunity cost. So let's dive into the charts just to see what I'm talking about. So what I have here is I have the weekly time frame of POLIS, and as you can see, ever since November 2021, we have just been sliding downwards ever since. So one of the reasons, of course, why I sold both the POLIS and Atlas tokens is we are currently in a bear market. POLIS at the moment has already fallen from the all-time high right here of around 98%. So when we look at POLIS on a macro level structure here, as you can see, what's happening here is we are most likely, if the bear market continues and we don't bounce off from here, we are currently undergoing a 5-wave Elliott wave structure to the upside. The hope that we have is this is already the end of the wave 3 and we don't continue to capitulate down, so that we can have a relief rally even if it's a short wave 4 right here, and then eventually we have a wave 5 destination somewhere. Now you may be wondering, where could our potential destinations be? If you've been watching my previous videos, the way we go about that is we have to form a reverse Fibonacci so that we can map out all of the price structures that have been forming since this November 2021 capitulation to the downside. This would be our 0 right here. So the bottom of this particular capitulation would be our 1. The local high right here would be our 0 because this is the start of the impulsive wave. When we map out our Fibonacci structures using a reverse Fibonacci to the downside, what you can see here is for most of price action, it actually has been adhering to a Fibonacci structure ever since. So this particular 2-month range right here was a result of us being between the 786 and the 1 after we bounced off of this particular low right here. When we eventually capitulated from the 1, if you notice, the reason why the candles are wide was because the chasm between the 1 and the 1.272 is pretty wide. So that has to be filled up by candles very quickly. And what happened was when we eventually started to capitulate, we tried finding support at the 1.414 right here. And the reason for the narrow range of these candles was once again between the 1.272 and the 1.414. It is a narrow range, but from the 1.414 to the 1.618, you now have massive chasm once again. So the candles fill up these particular levels right here. So right now, we are currently resting with the 1.618 to the downside. And the reason why we want the relief rally to happen right now is because when it comes to the 1618 extension, when you break it to the downside, the 1.618 to the 2 is a giant chasm that has to be filled up. So if we continue our wave 3 destination here, the next level to hopefully end the wave 3 would be around the 15-cent range right here. So what we want to happen is you want the wave 3 to end right now here at the 1.618. Hopefully we can rally, or even a sideways consolidation is fine, where you have the 1.414 or the 1.272 as your wave 4 rally, for example, before our eventual wave 5 destination. Either you form a double bottom right here on the 1.618, or worst comes to worst, then this is your bottom right here of around 15.7 cents. However, if that does not happen, and if we continue our wave 3, then what most likely will end up doing is you have something like this. So the wave 3 could fall to the 15.8 cent range right here. We can rally all the way up to the 1.618, but eventually our destination is much lower. It really depends then on what Bitcoin does. The key price levels to note for POLIS would be the 15.7 cent range right here, the 8 cent range right here, then you have the 6.4 cent range right here, and the 4 cent range right here. If the markets are really bad over the next few months, then do not be surprised if we eventually fall on the 1 cent range right here for POLIS. It is entirely possible for altcoins to really be absolutely devastated because of the market. Not only is it because of the bear market, we are also in the midst of global recession, etc., etc. So don't be surprised when we have final capitulation that is very close to 100%. So just take that into consideration, and this is exactly why I sold everything for now. The Atlas price action is very similar to POLIS price action. Before, Atlas was lagging behind. It usually had a higher valuation, but because of the recent capitulation, Atlas has also caught up. If you notice, it has the exact same structure, and even the 1.618 extension is following price action very similar to the POLIS equivalent, and we are currently resting here. So for Atlas's case, when we map out the price action to the downside, then this is an important level right now of 0.005. However, if we fall from here, then the next price level would be the 0.002, 0.001, 0.0009. So as you can see, the decimal points are starting to get way bigger. 0.005, and hopefully the 3, or the very worst case scenario would be here at the Fibonacci extension, which is 3, of around 0.0002. That would be from here all the way down, would be very close then to 100% drawdown. So from a price action perspective, it kind of makes sense to just sell everything, even though it resulted in a major loss for me when it comes to my Star Atlas investment. But if I had not sold during that time, then I would have lost a lot more. More importantly, for a Star Atlas investment, you do have to be very aware of opportunity cost. The key very important thing to understand about space games is space games take very, very long to build. And the reason for space games taking so long is because you have to account for a lot of systems in order for your space game to be immersive in the first place. You have to take care of the universe, then you have to take care of the physics involved in that particular universe. Remember, there are multiple physics engines that have to be at play here. You have the land exploration component, you also have the vehicle exploration component, and then you have to have the space battles exploration component here. So even from a core design perspective, it already takes very, very long to build a space game. And apart from that, you not only have to account for that, with a play-to-earn system, now you have to think about the economy, the politics, the tokenomics, and everything else in between. So from a Star Atlas investment standpoint, it's not that Star Atlas is a scam, it's more a question of opportunity cost. If Star Atlas took 10 years to develop, and even then, it's still not done, it is still technically in alpha stage or beta stage, how long will Star Atlas need to go in order to build a particular game? A similar equivalent game here is No Man's Sky, started at around 2013, or maybe development started in 2011. They released the game back in 2016, which was absolute garbage because of 3 to 5 years of development. And by the time they have improved it, it got major reviews, positive reviews around 2019, and as they developed the game all the way until now in 2022. I am happily playing No Man's Sky now as we're waiting for the bear market to end. A Star Atlas investment is a function of opportunity cost, because if you think about it, if you are putting money now, whether you are buying ships, whether you are buying the tokens, how long do you have to wait in order for the game to actually be in a state of profitability? If it takes 5 years from now or 10 years from now, then the key question to ask yourself is, why don't I just put the money elsewhere for now, have that profit over the span of 2, 3, 4 years, and then put it back to a Star Atlas investment? By then, the Star Atlas development will not have progressed far enough in order for us to YOLO back in. That is the reason why I sold all Star Atlas assets. It's not that the game is a scam. It's not because the Solana blockchain is absolute garbage. Of course it is, because of all of these frequent shutdowns, because of poor architecture. It is really more to do with opportunity cost. By the time we are ready to invest in Star Atlas, all other projects, all other blockchains, all other layer 1s have appreciated in value so much that by the time Star Atlas is ready, you would have made money elsewhere. We would have profited a lot more with other projects that are easier to build. So the key lesson for today is, it is not just about the projects that we have to account for. It is also important to understand the opportunity cost associated with investing in these projects. Are you better suited with putting your money elsewhere first before you actually consider a Star Atlas investment? Yo, before you go, like this video, subscribe, and share this video to your friends. Thank you very much and have a good day.